All right, welcome back to the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. If you need a roof, make sure you call Ireland Contracting, 1-800-NEW-ROOF. If I need a roof, that's who I'm calling, that's for sure.
We all need a roof.
But call us right now, 412-575-2600 is the number on the Borders and Borders hotline. We're taking your phone calls. If you want to call about the controversial decision in Aliquippa, Mike Shmianik out as the head coach. They're accepting applications until March 9th, the legendary coach. And our own Ralph Iannotti is on the case. He was in Aliquippa for the school board meeting, and he has all the details coming up tonight at 11 o'clock on KDKA-TV News. It's a very explosive topic in Aliquippa and on social media. So you'll want to tune in to KDKA-TV News coming up tonight at 11 to hear from Ralph and what happened up there. Also, let's go out to the phone lines right now. Gene, what do you say? People want to talk about the Buccos. Let's go out to Rob out in the Hill District. How you doing, Rob?
Hey, Richie.
Hey.
You know, every time the Pirates is making a transaction, there's always a minor league free agent. It's always a fighting the camp type player.
Yeah.
Listen, when you got two players like Andrew McCutchen and Garrett Cole, you know what I'm saying? You can't. You got to get the best prospects off the other team. If they're not trying to give you their best prospects, then you just ride it out with them and just let them leave and get a compulsory pick in the draft. If you look at the Cubs when they rebuilt it, they got players, they traded players that was nowhere near the caliber of Andrew McCutchen or Garrett Cole and got the players like Anthony Rizzo back in return. Look at the Astros when they sold players. They got impact players that helped them win the World Series. The Pirates are trash.
You know, even the White Sox, look at all the players that they got back, Rob. And, you know, speaking of the Astros' top prospect, Gene, did you see that news today? Forrest Whitley,
right.
their big right-handed pitcher. He's a top 10 prospect in baseball, out for the first 50 games. Maybe the Pirates knew something. I don't know if he has a drug problem. It was a drug violation, but no one would talk about what exactly it was.
Well, it's a drug violation, a PED violation. You know, I'm not going to even attempt to defend the Pirates, but it's not impossible that they got one of the Astros' better prospects in Colin Moran, who's a third baseman. And I know the Astros felt really highly of him and feel like he'll be a good major league hitter. I don't know if that means this year or 2 years or what.
Yeah, and he was blocked for the Astros too, so he wouldn't have played. Kind of like Brent's was blocked with the Red Sox. And, you know, I don't mind what the Pirates are doing, Gene. I really don't, trying to find that diamond in the rough. But I wish they would go out and find a bona fide star. You know, I know I didn't really like this quote, and I think it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way when he talked about the back of baseball cards. I think they need a back of a baseball card kind of guy. Yeah. That might appease some fans. And I know we talk about this all the time. I don't think I'm going to be happy, and I don't think fans out there are going to be happy unless they spend that $20 million that they're saving from trading away Garrett Cole and Andrew McCutchen.
Well, obviously, I mean, we've mentioned on this show, I think, a few times that the Pirates aren't willing to spend money. That's why they don't have guys with impressive backs of baseball cards. Those players cost money.
Yeah, and I know that's the spin that they use, and you know, we'll see. You know, maybe they're right and we're wrong, but
maybe they're not.
Maybe they're not. All right, back out to the phone lines, and we're going to go out to Bob out in Clearfield. How you doing, Bob?
Hi, gentlemen. Thanks for taking my call. I see that the Pirates are continuing with their long-standing practice of overpromise but underdeliver. They went to great lengths to make you understand that Bryce Brent's hit 31 homers at AAA last year. What they didn't tell you is that he spent 6 years in AAA, and by that time he should have a pretty good idea how to hit AAA pitches. They minimized this at the shoulder injury of Joe Musgrove. But what they don't tell you is that he spent a month on a disabled list last year with that shoulder, and 2 years earlier he spent 2 months on a disabled list. He's a first-round draft pick. That's a busted first round. And Toronto shipped over to the Astros, but the Tigers wouldn't even take him as part of the Justin Verlander deal. He's failed miserably as a starter, and his numbers say, do you know the way to AAA? But the Pirates have him penciled in as their middle-of-the-rotation starter. So they have the longer this goes on with this thing, guys, the more they're lacking in credibility, a complete lack of credibility going forward as I see it. Thank you, guys.
Hey, thanks, Bob, for the call. I think Gene did say yesterday that he was a 6-year minor leaguer, and that is an issue. You spend that much time, he could turn into a Tyler Glass now.
Yeah, I mean, the Pirates are just in no position to say what should be said, and what the caller just outlined about those players. I mean, the Pirates can't say that. They have to say what they say. Yeah, I mean, we think this guy can help us. Well, you're the only one, probably. Yeah,
and I look at it, I try to look at this as like if I'm running a fantasy football team or something, and you have a certain amount of money to spend, and, I know they're not a salary cap, but you want to try to get some bargains. I get that. I get a couple bargains, but you don't want your whole team to be bargains. And I think that's the issue right now that people have with the Pirates. I mean, everyone seems to be a bargain on the team. Their whole starting rotation, their whole roster. Yeah. You need some bona fide stars. You need some back of baseball card players.
Well, the only guy like that right now is the new contract for Rivera, the Hammer. But, you have a hard time getting to him. I mean, you don't need a closer if you're not ahead in late innings. And I don't see this team being ahead a lot.
I could see Josh Bell maybe getting to that. We don't know anything about Colin Moran. Josh Harrison's that kind of guy, but he's going to get shipped out of here soon, I would imagine. Or, at this point, I would have said before they traded those other guys, I want them to keep Josh Harrison. And I like Josh Harrison, but I think what they have to do right now is trade him too and just trying to get more prospects and retool, as they like to say it. All right, back out to the phone lines. We're going to go out to Tom out in Greenfield. How you doing, Tom?
Rich, how you doing?
Good, thanks for calling.
I just want to talk about the Pirates. You know what? You could probably put 8 mediocre players on the field, but I think it starts with the Pirates' starting rotation. I mean, who do we have? We got Nova, and who else? Please don't say Glass now, because he can't pitch a strike. I'm going to, hang up, and I think Josh Harrison wants to be traded because he wants to be on a winning team, and that will just hurt his attitude if he stays longer with the Pirates. I'm going to hang up, and you tell me to start in rotation for the Pirates.
All right, thanks a lot, Tom. Jamison Tyon's number 1, Nova's number 2, Musgrove is probably slated as number 3, 4, 5. Who knows what's going to happen there?
Williams,
Brault in the mix, Glasnow still in the mix. That's going to be your guys that they're going to pick from. But are you? Yeah, you said it the best. I mean, there's no 20-game winner, 15-game winner. You can't. Everyone is an unknown almost.
They hope they get that kind of performance out of Nova and probably Tyon, and they probably do have that kind of potential. I don't know about 20 games, but possibly win 13 or 15. But after that, I don't know.
All unknowns. And I think you need a lefty in the rotation.
I think Williams can be a good major league pitcher.
Yeah, I agree, but where in a rotation on a good team? 5? 4?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, that's kind of where I am. I still think that they have a lot of number 2 and number 3 guys. They don't have that one guy, but you can win with a bunch of 2s and 3s. So we'll see. I still think that they need a lefty, and that's why I think Brault should be in the start. But I want to give Tyler Glasnow a chance too. The guy's dominated AAA. Maybe he got his mind straight. I heard Ray Search talk about him. So maybe this is the year for Tyler Glasnow. All right, back out to the phone lines. Al, out in the West End. How you doing, Al?
Hey, Richie, good to talk to you.
Thanks for calling.
Hey, Gene, I got something to run by you, if that's okay.
Sure.
Every league has a clause called the best interest in the sport. You've seen examples in every sport where an owner has been forced to sell the team or get rid of a general manager or something. Baseball, you've seen it twice. When the Marlins had their fire sale after their World Series, the owner had to go. When the Padres, after they played the Yankees in the World Series, had the fire sale, the owner was forced to go. Well, how come Major League Baseball will investigate Nutting after these last 2 years? To me, he's breaking that clause, the best interest of baseball. Maybe, Gene, you can answer that question for me. Thanks.
Well, I thought that the union had made a statement to the effect that the Pirates were being investigated along those lines. But then was it baseball, Richie, or was it the Pirates issued?
Well, the Pirates issued a statement, and then baseball cleared them of any wrongdoing.
Yeah.
All within like a day. I mean, all within a few hours.
I know that doesn't answer your question. Should baseball look into it? I think they should. I think the city should look into it, and the county should look into it.
Yeah, and there should be some when they redo this CBA, Gene. And I don't know what has to be done, but there should be something. These large market teams should say, "Hey, I'm giving you $50 million, Pirates. That has to go to lineup. You know, that has to go to your.
Pirates don't want to do it.
Well, I know that, but there should be some where it says revenue sharing has to go to your 40-man roster, your 25-man, whatever. It has to go to that, and or there has to be some kind of percentage or something to figure out that revenue sharing isn't going into the owner's pockets or isn't going somewhere within the Latin America or Major League
Pirates
or
say they
Pirate
put it
City.
all into the club, but exactly how that happens, they don't have to show you.
There should be a directive of where it goes. That's what I think. All right, we got to take a break. Back with more of your phone calls. We got a couple calls about Aliquippa football. Looking to hear from Ken and John. Stay on the line. We'll get to you guys next. Stay right there.